हर जगह हर पल आपका अपना सफीर पाकिस्तान नजर आता है।
सबसे पहले तो मैं जश्न आज़ादी के मौके पर सबको मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ। मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि हम पाकिस्तानी एक मिल के एक साथ रहें और पाकिस्तान पीपल पार्टी जो कि हमारी पार्टी है उसको हम मजबूत करें।
For the first time in Pakistan, we actually have more girls passing high school in science than boys. So I think that's a landmark which nobody has noticed. But I'm looking at it, and so we are seeing a silent revolution in Pakistan.
पाकिस्तानी अवाम को मेरा पैगाम होगा कि वी हैव टू वर्क हार्ड, बी यूनाइटेड, वी हैव टू इस्टेब्लिश अवर सेल्फ। उसकी वजह ये है कि जो हमारे तरक्की जो इसलिए नहीं हो रही कि दे आर लॉट ऑफ इंटरनल प्रॉब्लम्स, और हम जो हैं एज ए नेशन जो कायद आज़म ने मुल्क बनाया था कि वो ऑल वर्क टुगेदर एज ए पाकिस्तानी मुहब्ब वतन, we are not following his message. If we take Qaid-e-Azam message, we'll be a very strong nation.
हम जी दुआ करते हैं पाकिस्तान कायम रहे, सब मुश्किलों से दूर रहे और हम उसकी सलामती चाहते हैं।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं जावेदा मलिक हूँ और आई लव पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तान के लिए दुआ करते हैं कि अल्लाह मियाँ हमेशा पाकिस्तान को मतलब अपने ज़ुबान में रखे।
पाकिस्तान हमारा मुल्क है और मैं अपने पाकिस्तान से बहुत प्यार करती हूँ।
मेरा वतन आबाद रहे और खुशहाल रहे। हमारी तो सिर्फ दुआएं हैं अपने मुल्क के लिए और तरक्की करे हमारा मुल्क, दुनिया में नाम अच्छा कायम।
याद आता है?
बहुत याद आता है जी, हर वक्त पाकिस्तान याद आता रहता है यहाँ पे।
Jinnah was the creator of a state which never existed on the map of the world. And this is something very unique because there is hardly any example where a person could achieve a new country.
He was he was a colossus really. I don't think there was one leader who inspired so much awe, respect and affection at the same time. There was such total faith in his honesty, integrity, his intention, and exactly that he meant whatever he said.
I knew then, of course, which we know now, that it would be impossible to replace. That he left a tremendous void. He has risen. He has risen above the normal position occupied by a great leader, and he has gone into the Valhalla. He virtually belongs to the pantheon, as it were, of a transcendental personality who is above reproach. I think he merits it to the extent that mortals do. He was obviously cast in that extraordinary mold of classical greatness.
The people, of course, had many hopes in Jinnah because he was the only leader which the Muslims had produced for a very long time who could deliver the goods. It was only this so-called westernized Muslim who somehow or the other led to some positive results, gave them a state. That is why there was such disillusionment on his death, because the Muslims didn't know what to do. And it was with that spirit that the moment they learned that he has died, there was a flock and rush towards the governor's house where his body was lying. I remember because it was lying in the courtyard outside the governor's house.
والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على
There was a sea of humanity sobbing and wailing. You could hear distant echoes of the sobbing and wailing. And then lowering of his body in the grave, firing of the volley, the last post. Miss Jinnah and Dina Wadia, the daughter, coming up to the grave and looking down. It was a very, very trying moment.
When Jinnah entered politics, it was as a liberal nationalist, like his old hero, Naroji. The grand old man was presiding over the 1906 session of the Indian National Congress, now calling for self-government. Jinnah was an enthusiastic recruit. Later, the same year, the Muslim League was formed by a group of wealthy Muslims, including the Aga Khan, Sir Sultan Muhammad Shah, who served as the League's president from 1907 to 1912. Concerned to safeguard the rights and interests of Muslims, the League devoted its early efforts to their recognition and protection as a distinct community within the existing framework of British rule. Such loyalism made no appeal to Jinnah, who refused to join until the League embraced the nationalist aims of Congress.
If you read what Jinnah said and did right from 1906, when he really entered active politics, you cannot find a better explanation of the Hindus and Muslims coming together, emphasizing the commonality between them.
In 1915, when Mohandas Gandhi returned from South Africa, Jinnah gave a garden party. Thanking his host, Gandhi publicly singled him out as a Mohammedan. The tactless description set an uneasy tone for a relationship